Welcome to another Reddit Minecraft video. I have 10 short ones here for you today. I'll be working on my base in the background while also having ADHD trips to mine in between. I hope you enjoy. Am I the asshole for not defending my wife when my sister called her fat? My sister, 27F, was visiting my wife, 32F, and me, 33M, the other day. An important thing to note about my sister is that she has a child, 5M, with her now ex-boyfriend, 27M. When my sister found out she was pregnant, she told her then boyfriend that she was pregnant. He wanted to marry her in a shotgun wedding of sorts, but my sister said no. The only information she offered up was that there was no way they would be compatible in the long term, and I don't think it's any of my business to probe or question her about it. Soonly after, my sister and her boyfriend broke up, but they established a healthy co-parenting relationship and both now have 50-50 custody with stable, well-paying jobs and live close by to each other. My wife strongly thinks that my sister should have gotten married and hates that my sister refers to her ex-boyfriend as her baby daddy. I don't think my sister really cares that she had a child out of wedlock, but every time my wife meets my sister, she brings up the fact that she should try to get her boyfriend back and ask him to propose again, and asks why she does not want to marry him, especially since my sister has been single these past 5 years. It has gotten to the point that she has told me privately that she is fed up with this and has asked me to speak to my wife about this, which I have. The other day, my sister visited my wife and I at her house. We were having a normal conversation, and my sister was talking about her son entering kindergarten, and all the ways she was preparing him. The convo seemed pretty mundane until my wife once again brought up that my sister should try to get married at the courthouse with her ex-boyfriend, and that the other parents would view her as immature and would think of her as illegitimate if she didn't. Before I could even jump in and say anything to diffuse the situation, my sister was raging and said that my wife should worry about her fat self and losing 100 pounds before worrying about her child, and that a ring can't hide her triple chin, and to worry less about her going to the courthouse and more about the gym. My wife has always been on the bigger side, and I absolutely love and adore her, but it is one of her biggest insecurities. She ended up sobbing while my sister grabbed her things and left. This whole argument took around 2 minutes, and I froze up and didn't really know what to do. After my sister left, my wife asked me why I didn't say anything to defend her to my sister. I was honest and said that I thought that what she said was wrong. I thought that she was wrong for calling my sister immature and her child illegitimate. While I acknowledged it was wrong for my sister to make the comments she did, I don't think they were completely unprovoked. My wife is now giving me the silent treatment. So Reddit, am I the asshole? I think your wife's the asshole. Why is it any of her business what this guy's sister is doing? And then also, like, who cares what other people think of the sister? Clearly the sister doesn't care, so the wife should just keep to herself. Obviously the sister should have never said these things, but like the OP said, it wasn't unprovoked, and OP's talked to his wife about it before, so the wife should learn to mind her own business. I don't think OP is the asshole. I don't know, is that controversial? I actually don't know. This comment says, your wife sounds awful. You're the asshole for letting her keep disrespecting your sister and her son for so long. I agree. This is crazy. It's literally none of the wife's business whether or not the sister gets married, and you can't force a relationship. Having a ring doesn't suddenly mend any wrongdoings or any bad blood between them. Like, even if they are co-parenting, like, I don't understand the thought process behind that. What do you guys think? Comment below, let me know. I would love to know your guys' opinion on this one. Would I be the asshole if I decided to go through insurance after my girlfriend had a car accident damaging my car? My girlfriend was borrowing my car because hers is in the shop. While she parked, some girl with a license that was barely 6 months old clipped the side of my car while pulling into the space next to her and scratched up the side. According to my girlfriend, the girl was incredibly apologetic and begged her to not go through insurance as her rates would go up. She told my girlfriend this whole story about how she had just graduated college, was broke, could barely afford rent, and that her ex had cleaned out her savings. Apparently, they ended up talking for a while, realized they have a hobby in common, exchanged numbers, and have since made plans to hang out and even started doing weekly runs together. I got 2 estimates for the damage. One was from an independent body shop for about $450. The other was from the dealership, which was around $2,000. I want the dealership to repair it because I'd rather have it fixed properly than go with the cheapest option. My girlfriend told the girl about the dealership estimate, and apparently she offered to pay me in installments as she could not afford it. My girlfriend then told me she'd pay me herself and basically forgive the girl because, according to her, $2,000 isn't that much money to her. The whole thing felt sketchy to me. I don't really want to rely on installment payments from someone I don't know or want my girlfriend to pay, and I don't think it's my responsibility to protect the finances of the person who hit my car. So I told my girlfriend I'm filing an insurance claim instead. Now she's upset with me because she thinks I'm making things harder than they need to be, and that the girl made an honest mistake. Part of my reasoning is practical. Insurance exists for exactly this situation, and I know the repairs and liability will be handled correctly. The other part is that I'm honestly tired of seeing bad drivers avoid the consequences of their mistakes because they have a sad story. If someone causes an accident, then dealing with insurance and possibly paying higher premiums is part of being a driver. Maybe it'll encourage her to be more careful in the future. My girlfriend thinks I'm being unnecessarily harsh and ruining things for someone who's trying to do the right thing. I think she might be biased just because she got along with the girl and liked her, and I don't want to enable this kind of privilege. I don't think you're the asshole at all. I think that I agree that bad drivers should get consequences. Just respectfully, I understand being in a rough situation, like I really do, but it's completely avoidable to hitting someone's car, especially because the girlfriend was parked. You're hitting a parked car? There's getting in a car accident and there's hitting a parked car. Like, Reddit did dub this person as not the asshole, so W. Am I the asshole for telling my son's ex that her not having a family is not my issue? My son was married for about 8 years and they recently got divorced. This is about his ex that I will call Sam. Sam didn't have a good childhood. She was bounced a lot as a kid. She was a kind person and she integrated into the family quite well. I took a parent role overall with her. They got divorced because they couldn't have kids. It put a huge strain on the relationship. It was a sad mess with 2 miscarriages. Overall, the marriage broke. My son is dating someone new now, and I don't know if she is dating anyone. Ever since the divorce, I have stepped back from having a relationship with her. So no invite to the family events anymore, and I don't really message her at all. For example, my daughter just had her graduation party and she wasn't invited. I got a call from Sam and she asked if she did something wrong because we don't invite her to places anymore. I told her she is divorced from my son and I don't hang out with my kids' exes. That is inappropriate. She told me he didn't have to know. My sons would not be happy to find out I hung out with her behind his back. I told her she isn't family anymore, they divorced, and I won't be hanging out with her. We got into an argument about me abandoning her, and that she has no other family. I told her that is not my issue and reiterated when you divorce someone, you don't hang out with the ex's family. She called me a cunt, and I'm wondering if I was a dick. My family thinks it's really odd for her to try to hang out with me in the first place. Edit. The reason I know my son wouldn't want me to be in contact with her is because the divorce was messy, and at the end, they were both very unpleasant to each other. Also, she is the one who filed for divorce, not my son. I don't know why everyone assumed he did it. It was a bad day. He came home, got divorce papers, and then she kicked him out of the house. This commenter says, she lost her babies, lost her man, and lost her mom of 8 years. You could have been nicer. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. The way this person, OP, went about it just sounds so, like, rude. Especially when writing in this that you took a parental role over with her. Reddit did deem this as everyone sucks poo mode, so there's that. Am I the asshole for not wanting to be at my wife's birthday party? My wife wants to host a birthday party at our house. The idea originally is fun. We have been doing a lot of work on our backyard, so it is exciting to invite people over. Here is the issue. This birthday party has slowly become a fun thing for us to an absolute chore for me. My wife mentioned that this would be my gift to her if we can host something bigger. I agreed. So we went and spent $400 on food and liquor. I have spent hours cleaning our garage and yard to prepare. Ever since, though, my wife has started becoming demanding. She doesn't want me to drink because she wants me to make drinks and food for everyone else, be the chef and waiter. The party runs for 12 hours. Then she wants me to also accommodate to her family and their allergies, so I need to figure out how to make a celiac-free meal on top of meal to feed everyone else. Then I need to watch our dog because there will be lots of people and she's still a puppy. I also need to gut our garage and prepare it to serve food in. Requires tons of cleaning and organizing. Then I need to make sure our guest bedroom is ready for her friends. She's inviting my friends, but only on the condition I don't spend too much time with them so I can focus on the party. The party is still a week away and requests keep rolling in. On top of this, she wants to go another night to a super fancy restaurant, which I thought she said this was my gift to her. So I am looking to shed cash and I don't make a lot of money. Like, there's no way I am the a-hole, right? This seems kind of nuts, and I just want to say, bruh, get your own butler. Maybe this is a husband thing and I need to suck it up, but a 12-hour party where I'm a butler the whole time just feels a bit much. Would I be the asshole? My neighbor is moving soon, but his cat adopted me. So my neighbor's cat is at my house almost 24/7. She comes inside whenever she wants. She has stayed overnight many times, even when I try to send her home. I buy her food, treats, etc. I'm a bit of a cat whisperer, lots of experience with a rescue, and helping get over 300 cats adopted. I understand she is someone's pet. I understand I'm not the one footing her vet bills. I would if I saw an issue that wasn't taken care of. I would take her to the vet. She's hardly ever home with her human. Another neighbor warned me the cat might be moving soon, as he knows how attached we are to each other. Would I be the asshole if I spoke to her human about possibly adopting her? I'm not going to steal her, keep her in my house, and not let her go home or anything. But I want to know if I would be out of line approaching her human and asking about adoption. I feel bad because he is an older single man, but the cat has clearly chosen me. I feel so bad leaving for work because she's that attached to me and she will beg me to stay home with her. You're not the asshole for asking, and like you said, you're not going to just steal her. You would be the asshole if you stole her. This first comment says, ask if you want, but don't expect him to say yes. And if he says no, don't try to convince him otherwise. OP responds, thank you. I just want to know if asking was out of line. All I can do is ask. If he says no, then he says no. And I agree. I think that asking doesn't make you the asshole. However, if you did steal his cat, like, you're the fucking asshole. Also, like, if I was in this situation, I would be so heartbroken. I love cats and I get so easily attached to them. If a neighbor's cat adopted me, I guess is the saying, I would be so heartbroken if they left. Am I the asshole for not bringing a birthday gift to my niece because her mom never gets one for my daughter? My niece recently had a birthday party and I went to celebrate with the family, but I didn't bring a gift. For the past few years, I've always made an effort to buy something for my niece, but I noticed that when my daughter's birthday comes around, my sister never gets her anything, not even a card or a small toy. I never said anything because I didn't want gifts to become an obligation, but after a while it started to feel one-sided. This year, I decided to just attend the party, spend time with everyone, and wish my niece a happy birthday without bringing a present. I wasn't trying to be petty or punish my niece, I just didn't feel like continuing something that wasn't being reciprocated. A family member later asked if I had forgotten the gift, and I simply said I hadn't brought one this year. It made me wonder if I was being unfair by involving the kids in what is really an issue between adults. So, am I the asshole? Um, I I don't think you're the asshole. I do think it's kind of like murky waters you're treading with like involving the kids in that. This comment says, everyone sucks here. I think this warranted a conversation with your sister. Your niece probably doesn't understand that it's a reaction to her mom's lack of a present to your daughter. I do agree. I think you need to just talk to your sister instead of taking it out on your niece. Like I said, it's you're treading murky water by involving the kid in this. And also, it kind of sounds, now that I'm rereading the title, it kind of sounds like you're expecting something by giving a gift. I don't know. I feel like you should just give the gift to make the niece feel good. Unless your daughter is very clearly upset that your niece gets something and she doesn't on her birthday, it's like, again, it all just comes back to have a conversation. Am I the asshole for demoting my wife? Am I the asshole for firing my wife from being my fast food order checker? My wife and I have an unspoken system. I drive, she checks the bag before we leave the drive-thru because, according to her, they always forget something. The problem is, she never actually checks the bag. She'll grab it, peek inside for maybe half a second, say, yep, we're good, and hand it to me. This has resulted in missing fries, missing sauces, the wrong drink, a burger that had literally nothing on it except the bun and patty, one memorable occasion where they forgot my entire meal. Last week we got home and once again my order was wrong. I looked at her and said, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to let you go. We're moving your position to quality assurance consultant, effective immediately. I will be checking the bags. She laughed until I made a fake termination letter when we got home that cited repeated failure to identify missing nuggets. I even gave her a tiny severance package. a ketchup packet, and a coupon for a free Frosty. She says I'm ridiculous, informed me she's no longer speaking to HR. Me. I maintain that if your only job is to check the bag, you should probably check the bag. So, am I the asshole for demoting my wife from official bag checker? Guys, OP gives an update. My wife has been reinstated as official bag checker. First, thanks for all the comments. I did not expect so many people to have strong opinions about drive-thru quality control. LOL. After reading everyone's feedback, I decided to give my wife another chance. We established a performance improvement plan, PIP. The terms were simple: open the bag, actually look inside the bag, count the nuggets, verify the fries exist, confirm my sandwich resembles what I ordered. Yesterday, we went through the drive-thru to test the system. She opened the bag, spent a solid 20 seconds inspecting everything like she was performing a federal audit, and proudly announced, "Everything's here." I was impressed. We got home. My snack wrap wasn't in the bag. Not the wrong snack wrap. No snack wrap. Just no snack wrap. She looked at me and said, "Well, technically everything that was in the bag was correct." I couldn't even argue with that. So after extensive negotiations, she has officially been rehired as official bag checker with one condition. I now serve as an assistant bag checker and perform a secondary inspection before we leave the parking lot. HR has concluded that we will now be implementing a strict no departure without visual confirmation policy moving forward. Also, the ketchup packet severance has been rescinded. You're not the asshole. I think this was a funny story, and thank you for sharing this with us because this is really fun. And it sounds like you and your wife have a really fun and entertaining marriage. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend, no gas money, no rides? My 23M best friend, 25F, and I live in a pretty small, boring town, so whenever we want to do something fun, it usually involves a long drive to another bigger city. Whenever she drives, I make sure to contribute whatever I can for gas. She's never asked me to, but I thought it was just common courtesy. Also, for a long time, she was the one doing most of the driving. I knew she was struggling to find a job and could use the money. For a long time, it didn't really bother me that she never contributed anything in return when I drove. I never asked after all, and I didn't think that she owed me just because I offered to help her out when I could. Now, our situations have kind of reversed. She has a steady income, and I'm the one struggling to find a job. A few months ago, I swallowed my pride for the first time and asked her if she could cover half the gas money for our drive to the city, and she said she couldn't afford it. I knew that wasn't true. She just spent $200 on a new guitar. But I didn't want to make a big deal about it, so I just drove. From then on, it was always, "I'll get the next one," never happens, or "I'll pay for the snacks." $10 at the convenience store while I'm shelling out over $100 for a full tank, or "I just can't afford it right now." I know I had no way of knowing for sure that was true, but I just couldn't take it at face value with the expensive purchases I saw her consistently making. The breaking point came last week when me, her boyfriend, and my girlfriend were driving to the city for a night out. I don't drink, so I was designated driver like always. Like always, I asked her if she could cover some of the gas money, and like always, she said no. I just said, okay, then turned around, drove her back to her apartment, and told her to get out. I said if she wasn't going to help me afford these trips, we wouldn't be taking them anymore, and she immediately started crying and talking about how she never asked me for anything, and she thought our friendship was more important than money. I screamed at her that she was the one prioritizing money over our friendship, and that if she actually cared about that friendship continuing to exist, she would at least help with the gas every once in a while when I asked, instead of buying another guitar that she'd never play. She tried to launch into her usual, "I'll pay you next time," but I stood firm on the ultimatum: no gas money, no trips, ever again. When I asked my girlfriend the next day if I had gone too far, she told me that I was within my rights to set my ultimatum, but I could have at least waited until we were alone instead of losing my shit while the four of us were in the car together. I agree with her there. I'm not proud of how I lost my temper. I don't want this problem to ruin our friendship, but I also can't keep hemorrhaging money for these trips that my best friend doesn't seem to care enough to contribute to. Am I the asshole here? First comment says, "Not the asshole. Good on you for standing your ground. She's a shitty friend, and if you keep accepting that, she'll keep treating you like that." I think that you should be willing to help a friend out, especially if they're the one doing you the favor of driving you around. And I understand, like, the beginning of the friendship, like, that just wasn't like that. But shit happens. If I'm in this situation and my friend is like, "Hey, like, I need some help with gas money and I'm taking you all these places, like, can you help?" Yeah, fuck yeah. You're doing me a favor. You're the one driving. You're the one putting miles on your car. You're putting gas in your car. You're getting me from A to B. Like, yes, I'll contribute 100%. Am I the asshole for telling my husband his friend isn't welcome in our home after he involved her in our argument and said he trusts her more than me? My husband has a longtime friend, let's call her Anne, from his school days. She's actually a nice person, and I don't have any personal issue with her. The three of us used to hang out quite a bit. Recently, my husband and I argued about me forgetting to turn off the stove knob. We had just moved into a new place, and somehow I forgot a few times. I understand that it's serious, and I genuinely made an effort to be more careful. But during the argument, my husband panicked and called Anne to vent. I could literally hear him inviting her to come stay at our house, which we both pay for, while he was away for a week. He also told her to take a set of keys and check that everything was turned off. At one point, I heard her ask, "Is she mentally disturbed? Why does she forget it?" I let that slide at the time, assuming it was just him venting to a friend. Later, I told him it wasn't right to bring our private arguments to a third person. Instead of understanding, he got defensive and said if I hadn't been so irresponsible, he wouldn't have called her. Then he added that he trusted her more than me. That really stuck with me. The week he was away, I got sick for most of it. Despite that, he kept asking if I had invited Anne over and when I was going to hang out with her. I don't like conflict, so I said I'd reach out when I felt better. When I finally did, she canceled last minute. After all of this, I told my husband that Anne is not welcome in our house anymore. He's free to continue his friendship with her, just not in our shared space. This becomes a bigger issue because she was visiting with her boyfriend and it mattered to him. Then his mother got involved. She always does. Her take was that I should have brought this up at a better time and not during another argument. As part of resolving things, I was expected to stop talking to one of my own friends because she had yelled at my husband when he was complaining about me. Apparently, that was disrespectful and I should have defended him even though he was criticizing me. Even though I gave him the grace to stay in touch with Anne, the return from him and his mother was that I'm not allowed to reach out to my own friend. That honestly sucks, even though I know I'm a free woman. I don't have a lot of friends, and I keep the ones I love very close. So now I'm wondering, am I the asshole for setting that boundary about Anne not being welcome in our home? Edit. I've forgotten to turn off the stove 2 times. Thank you for the comments asking to check myself medically, but I'm so used to gas burners, and an electric cooktop was a big change for me. It is not my first stove with knobs, but the placement of the knobs are very different from the ones I've been used to. I even installed a camera on top of the stove to make sure I can check it when I'm away. I'm also aware my post said multiple times, my fault for not paying attention to words. English is not my first language. For those mentioning this is about something else, we have had a lot of constant issues about third parties being a part of our arguments. I could tell with the mom being involved. No amount of talking or drawing boundaries have helped. I am nobody to comment on who he vents to. My problem is that these people are dragged into our conversations to mediate or offer opinion. Edit 2. Update. I left him. I ran as far as possible after another disagreement with his mother calling me names and judging me to the sky. It hurts sometimes and I have my down days. If you could offer some words of encouragement, I'll take it even if it is harsh. I'd really like that, please. Yeah, so you were dating a man-child who can't form his own opinions and needs every single argument to be solved by everyone else in his life. It's sounding like your ex-husband needed reassurance in the way he felt, and that's why he went to other people, or he's just a fucking drama llama and needs everyone to know all of his business at all times. It's a good thing you left him, because why is his mother involved and why is his friend involved in arguments that should stay between you two? Her saying that OP is mentally disturbed for forgetting is actually crazy. This person does not sound kind. You're not the asshole. Husband's the asshole. And hopefully you can find someone who doesn't need to involve everyone in his life into his personal arguments. This is the last one I'm gonna read. It's really short. Am I the asshole for making a kid cry at the movies? So I, 19 years old, decided to take my girlfriend, 18, to go to see a movie, Project Hail Mary. Fire movie, by the way. During the entire movie, this kid and his buddy, I want to say maybe 12 to 14 years old, were talking the entire time. I didn't say anything during the movie because I was worried that the kids would start being more talkative or noisy out of spite, but they still ruined several emotional moments of the movie. Finally, at the end of the movie, when me and my girlfriend were gonna leave, I turn over and I say to the kids, "Hey guys, next time you go see a movie, you gotta be more quiet or just shut the fuck up." I didn't say it in an aggressive tone. I know I probably could have said it in a nicer way, but I just didn't really want to. Anyways, the kids started crying and we left. I don't regret it and I'd probably do it again. Yeah, you're not the asshole. Those kids, it's like you hear about like, oh, concert etiquette isn't the same anymore. I've heard plenty about after COVID, people just being so talkative in movie theaters. And I really think that's like a product of COVID. People didn't go outside for like a year, 2 years. You go outside again and you don't know how to act, especially these kids. Like, they should be taught to not speak during movies, at least when you're in public. Do that at home. If you want to have a conversation the whole movie, watch it at home. Anyway, that's all from me. Sorry for the shorter video, I had to cut a lot from this one. Let me know what genre of stories you'd like to hear about next. And please subscribe.